the snow all over this morning, the cocos come out, and there's Christmas songs all over the radio. Today is already day 4 of the Vlogmas vlogger tour, and I'm going to talk to you about the dresses of Christmas past. If you didn't know, instead of doing a Vlogmas by myself and releasing one video per day, I have joined a vlogger tour where all the way up to Christmas Eve, one vlogger will release a vlog with something about Christmas. And today is my turn. So I'm going to talk to you about all the dresses I have made for Christmas in the past, and I will tell you all the details about making them. The first year I made a dress for Christmas was 2020. I had lost my job during COVID and started dressmaking and figured I would take on the challenge of making a dress. Now, the pattern I chose was definitely not something I would say in hindsight is beginner friendly, but I like a challenge. I don't think there's anything I can't do when it comes to sewing, and I definitely didn't know what I was getting myself into. And the pattern I'm talking about is the Burda 6279. This is a dress with a fitted bodice with princess seams and a skirt cut on the bias that is, well, it flares out, so kind of like an A-line-ish skirt. And I made it in a wool mix fabric that I bought on Gold Hog Road, which is this one. And to make it even more challenging, it has these squares on it, and I attempted pattern matching for the first time. So the dress itself, especially the bodice, as it's quite fitted, I attempted to get it as close to my fit as possible. I had recently learned about like fitting issues and that you can make adjustments to patterns, so I had to do a full bust adjustment for the first time, and I twirled the bodice quite a few times just so I could get the fit right by doing a full bust adjustment, adjusting the darts, taking something in at the sides, all things like that. So I would say this Burda pattern does not necessarily fit like a regular bodice. I've since learned that with a lot of patterns, I do not have to make any adjustments for it to fit right around the bust area. So I have not made a Burda pattern since, because I know I will have to make lots of adjustments to it to get it to fit. But in the end, it did turn out really nice. So, like I said before, it has princess seams all the way from the shoulder to the waist. And I did not know for the life of me what princess seams were, and they also were named as such in the instructions. It just said match the front piece with the side piece on the notches. Like, it didn't explain what kind of seam it was, so I was very confused, and it took me hours to figure out. I eventually asked the Full Line Facebook group how to do it. They are a very helpful community, and if you ever have any sewing related questions, I suggest going on there and ask it, because people are super helpful there. So eventually I found out what kind of seam it was, and then I could look up tutorials for princess seams, and I figured it out. Originally the pattern comes with a invisible zip in the back, but I wanted a kind of different look, so I went for this really clunky zip, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. It looks really cool. This is the kind of look I went for. Obviously, if you want to make this pattern, you can insert an invisible zip. It's not difficult to do. But yeah, I'm quite happy. It has like these, so obviously it's not pressed now, I just grabbed it out of the cupboard, but if you press this nicely, the zip will be barely visible. So yeah. It also has a lining, which was also a first for me, but it actually went in rather nicely. It was quite simple to attach it, and I'm quite happy with how this dress turned out. And like I said, I attempted pattern matching, and the pattern matching down the front bodice has gone quite well. I don't know if you can see, but here, this is the waistband, this is the front bodice. It's all lining up pretty nicely here and here as well. I attempted to do it on the princess seams, which is obviously a bit more difficult, but it's not that far off, I'd say. The back, on the other hand, is a different story. It's not lining up here, like, at all. Sometimes you try and you fail, you know? Overall, I am very happy with this dress. I was very happy wearing it on Christmas. Now, when I make a dress for Christmas, I like to make something special, but not necessarily Christmas focused, so I can wear it for different occasions as well. And I've worn this to a wedding party, and I sometimes just wear it in the office as well. Another dress I made for Christmas is the Tilly and the Buttons Marta dress. I made a full-on wearable toile for this dress, but actually it didn't need any adjustments, so I just now have 2 Marta dresses in my wardrobe, and I quite like that. So the dress is again fitted bodice with princess seams and a skirt cut on the bias. It has this high collar around the neck, and it has fitted sleeves that I think they're called bell sleeves, so they're quite big at the bottom, and it has an invisible zip in the back. So I used this fabric that I bought from Stitch Fabrics for £5 It's a viscose, it has these speckle thingies on it. After I bought it, this fabric became quite popular, and you see it all around different fabric shops for double the price now, so I'm quite happy I bought it when I did. It is a very, very nice fabric. It feels super nice, and it was super fun to work with, and I am so happy with how this dress turned out. So the only Christmassy thing I did was I put a little Christmas ribbon here at the end to put the button in. So that's the only Christmassy thing about it, so that I can wear this on more occasions as well, which I have. So I am super happy with how this dress came out. There's no pattern matching this time. The seam matching is perfect on this, especially at the front, so I'm very happy with that, as it just looks like one seam instead of making the bodice and then attaching the skirt. And what I did is at the hem, I kind of used this decorative stitching, just because it makes me feel a little extra special when I wear it, and you know, just you can't really see it that well, but I know that it's there, so it kind of gives me that extra special feeling of it being handmade by me. The only thing that went wrong was when I was overlocking one of the seams, I kind of ripped a bit of fabric, and it's right at the front bodice. But I just used some decorative stitching to go over it. And basically, I placed a bit of fabric behind the hole, and then stuck it, you know, went over it with decorative stitching so you can't really see it. And when I wear it, it kind of looks like I'm wearing like kind of a brooch. I did that because, so I I would feel it would be a waste to throw away the whole dress just for one rip in it. It doesn't fit with my kind of eco-friendly lifestyle, just trying to mend rather than just chuck away. So that's why I chose to do it like this. Since it was in kind of a visible place, I figured I would mend it visibly so it looks like it's on purpose rather than by accident, if you know what I mean. So that is why that is there. It has an invisible zip, and I am so happy with how that turned out. I mean, can you even see that? I can't see that, just the top zip of it here. So I am very happy with how that has turned out. And I will pop in some pictures of me wearing this dress over Christmas time last year. So to turn away from dresses of Christmas past, let's turn to dresses of Christmas present. I have already finished my Christmas dress for this year, as I always feel like I am behind when in reality I'm basically a month ahead. So originally my plan was to make the Vogue jumpsuit. I wanted to make it in complete red with kind of like a lacy overlay for the bodice. But I then decided that I wanted to make that pattern for my birthday party instead, which will be in January. And I didn't want to wear the same thing so close together. So instead I decided to make a different dress. Now I didn't go out and buy more things for a Christmas dress because I already had fabric and a pattern from my Little Miss So-and-so box from a few months ago that I hadn't made up yet, but I knew I would love that dress. I just hadn't found the occasion to make it for, and that's why it hadn't been sewn up yet. And of course I'm talking about the Summer in New York dress by Seasons of East. It seems to be a very popular pattern right now. I think when it was released in Little Miss So-and-so box, it became a little bit more known in the Instagram community, and people started to make it. And so obviously that just comes into a snowball effect. And I think the instigator was Adele. Her version of the Summer in New York dress was very beautiful, and I will pop in a picture right here. I love her version, and when I saw it I was in love, and she also got it in her Little Miss So-and-so box, but I think she got it a little bit earlier than I did, so I saw her version already made up before I even received my box, but I knew to be very excited for my box. So I haven't gotten around to making any pictures in it because I just kind of want to keep that reveal for Christmas, but I am very happy with this dress. I love this fabric as well. It's very nice and floaty. I think for Christmas I will wear it with like some tights and some boots, but I think you could wear it easily in the summer and spring as well. It is a very, very easy dress to sew up. When I first saw the pattern, I thought it would be quite complicated, but it really isn't. There's only 4 pattern pieces. There is the bodice that consists of 2 pieces. There's the back bodice, and then 2 skirt panels. So it has this deep neckline, V neckline, that if I could just show you. All the edges are just finished by folding the edge over, so there's no bias tape, no facing, nothing like that. The sleeves are just come from the body, so there's no attaching sleeves. It's really very easy. It has slits on both sides of the skirt. It just makes it a bit more walkable, I guess. The bodice is quite fitted, and honestly I think this is kind of the perfect dress for my body type at the moment. It cinches in at the waist and then just comes out and it just falls over the hips, so it's not a lot of ease in the hip area, and it's just accentuates my curves and I really like it. So to get into that, obviously you need to have a zip, and the zip is underneath the armhole. Let me go find it. Not that one, this one. Now this was my first time using my invisible zip on my Janome machine. So I think I need some more practice because that bit is not invisible, is it? It's not too bad. It's under the armhole as well, so no one's gonna notice, but just not entirely pleased with that. But I won't have any less pleasure wearing it anyway. So yeah, there's no seams to line up, there's no nothing. So I am very happy with that, and I will enjoy wearing that when it comes to Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have found me because of the other vloggers, thank you for coming along. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. Tomorrow's turn is Michelle, the Menopausal Sewer. I will link her channel below. Go and check her out, and for now, let's go sew.